Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1125A, and today's date is November 11th, 2016, and the title of the episode is Everything is in Place. The central bank is going to bring down the economy. Now, before I get started, I just want to make two announcements. Today is Veterans Day, and I want to salute all those who have served. Thank you very much for your service. I appreciate it, and I'm sure everyone appreciates you sacrificing almost everything to serve this country. And once again, thank you very much. My second announcement is the Cliff High interview on the X22 Report Spotlight is now uploaded. You can go over to X22 Report Spotlight on YouTube. You can see the video there, or you can come over to the x22report.com site. All you need to do is scroll down a little bit, look over to your right-hand side. You'll see the video there. You can do the same with newssentinel.com. Same thing, scroll down a little bit, look over to your right-hand side, and you can play the video there. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, here we are on Friday, and it looks like the steam is running out in regards to the stock market. And we can see that it is not hitting the all-time highs now. Very interestingly, today it was down a little bit, and it looks like it was pushed back up. And we can see right now, probably come Monday and Tuesday, we'll have to see what the market does. I have a funny feeling it's going to drop even further, but I could be wrong. I think all those people with the long positions, they're finished, and the PPT, the high-frequency traders, they're going to pretty much bring it back in line, and we're going to see it maybe drop a little bit. I think we're going to see a lot more people sell off, but we'll have to wait and see how this all turns out. Again, the whole thing's manipulated, so anything can go at this point. But what we're seeing is that the entire country is divided right now. We have protests going on. We have petitions out there. We have people for Trump. We have people who hate Trump. And we can see right now the deep state, the central bankers, they're doing whatever they can to create chaos in this country. Because, remember, they're sore losers. They don't like to lose. They like to reach their goals. They like control. And when things get out of control, they push even harder to take control. And we can see right now that everything was done to put Hillary Clinton into office. The whole thing was a complete psyop. When we look at the economics of everything, we see that they lowered the unemployment rate, they raised the GDP. Actually, the UMich, consumer sentiment, well, this survey surged to the highest level since mid-2016. And, of course, they did this for the elections. And what we're seeing right now is that the elections are over. Most likely what they're going to do is revise the UMich. We might even see it tumble in November when we're moving into December. But we can see right now this was pushed up, and the reason they cited it was pushed up was because people saw an improvement in the economy. And, of course, they can make the case that GDP surged to 2.9%, unemployment came down to 4.9%, and of course, everyone is very confident now. But we can see all of this was done for the election. We can see that all of this is an illusion. And once again, when you fact-check these things, if you go to the government or Google and they fact-check it against the government or the corporate media, that's what you'll see. But once this time period is passed and everything starts to fall apart, were those numbers really true, or were they manipulated once again? And this is the problem that we have with fact-checking things. We saw gold during this period of time, during the election and after the election. Well, it has dropped. It has been suppressed. There were 85,000 gold future contracts, which is $10 billion, thrown at the market, which brought the gold price down to around $12.30. And we can see that gold has been down now for 5 days in a row. And again, they're suppressing the price of gold, giving the illusion the economy is doing well. Why are they still doing this? Well, they have plans. They don't want the economy to fail while Obama is still in office. They can't have it fail. He's very worried about his legacy, but hopefully his legacy will be exposed as one big lie. Now, during this period, we are seeing the worst price decline in bonds since 1981 during the bond market crash. Total market-to-market losses are around $1 trillion right now, just 2 days after the presidential election. And we can see that this economy right now, it is teetering on a collapse. They're holding it together until Obama gets out of office. We see that Trump, he is not seeking to fully repeal Dodd-Frank, and he kind of opposes the bank bailout provision. Now, unlike other parts of Dodd-Frank, Title II is supported by large banks. They say it is proof that bailouts are a thing of the past. Some Republicans, however, would rather put a big financial firm through bankruptcy. They believe Title II, as it stands, is simply a bailout by another name, which it really is. And we can see they created these bail-in documents because, remember, the banks, the central banks, they protect themselves. They make sure they have Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. They don't want to be caught without a plan. And they make sure that everything works for them. We're seeing that Trump is pushing for Glass-Steagall and might reintroduce this. Remember, this was removed back in 1999 or so, 2000. And what it did was it broke down the wall between commercial and investment banking. And then all of a sudden, we have these subprime securities, and things didn't go well after this. We can see right now the EU has said the TTIP, well, that deal is dead due to Trump presidency because Obama won't be there to push it. He might try to push it during this period of time, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it is dead, and thank God it is. It was, if this passed, this would have been a complete disaster for this country. Now, Brandon Smith from altmarket.com, he's saying that the American people, well, they're not out of the woods just yet. He says something big is coming, and he's telling everyone to prepare themselves. And he did say that the Brexit was going to happen, that people were going to vote in a certain way. He did say that Trump was going to win the election. And he's saying that Trump is going to be used as the scapegoat for this entire collapse. Now, I know there's others like Cliff, who uses predictive linguistics, who says that Trump is not going to be blamed for this. But we can see that the economy and everything that we looked at, we've been tracking it, we've been reporting on it, and the economy is in a recession right now. Just because they haven't announced it doesn't mean a thing. Just because the stock market doesn't reflect it doesn't mean a thing, because we were in a recession back in 2008 before the stock market even came down. And what he's saying is that the elites now are preparing, and everything is ready. They have the green light to bring down the economy. And we can see right now that they're going to initiate the final collapse of the global economy while Trump is in office. So the time frame right now is after January. And we're seeing in the next 6 months or so that this is when this entire system will completely break apart. And we can see that many aspects of the economy are going to break down. We know from Bill Holter, Cliff High, many others, David Stockman, Jim Rickards, many others who are saying that, Jim Willey, that the dollar is going to be devalued, the credit markets are going to freeze up, cash is going to come, it's going to be hard to get cash, and the entire situation is going to be horrific. Remember, yes, we had an election. Yes, we have a new president. But we still have the same problem. And now they don't care. Because, hey, we have someone to blame right now. If Hillary got in, she most likely would have brought us to war. And they would have covered that up with war. Is war still in the cards? Well, I believe that the deep state, the central banks, they're going to continually push for this. Because, remember, their goal is to reduce the population. Their goal is to create a whole new system. And we can see right now that they don't really give up on their goals that easily. So what I'm saying to everyone right now is that we're entering a situation, an area of time where you have this window to prepare. And I believe at this point there is no reason to keep the illusion going, because once Trump is in office, they don't need to keep the illusion alive. They want someone to blame. If they can't blame another country or group, they'll blame an individual. They don't care, as long as they're not blamed for what is about to happen. And we can see that when this hits, this is going to be something that we've never seen before. And I can just see it in my mind where it's going to be so horrific that many people are not going to be able to handle this. You think the people are having a problem with the elections? Wait until the collapse occurs. Their mind, the way they're thinking, the world that they know is going to fall apart right in front of their eyes. And it's going to be very, very difficult for these people. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see mass suicides. We saw it in the 30s. Not that I want anyone to die or anything like that. Not that I want anyone to commit suicide. But we can see this is just a part of life, and this is the way it is, because we saw it back in the 30s. I think we're going to see the same thing once again. I think people are going to be very, very angry, very pissed off, and the situation throughout the U.S. is going to be very tense. And at this point, I'm saying to everyone, from now, for the next 6 months, prep as much as you possibly can. Stock up on your food, your water, your supplies. Make sure you have gold and silver, cash. Make sure you have a weapon. Just like everyone thought, well, Trump will never become president. It will never happen. The corporate media would laugh about it. They would make jokes about it. Well, it did happen. Remember, it takes a split second for the collapse to occur. Yes, we can have the trolls and all those people who say, no, you're wrong, for years before the collapse. But when it happens, those people scurry away, never to be seen again. Actually, they probably hide in their hole. And when it does happen, people will not believe it, just like they can't believe Trump became president. Other people were okay with Trump being president, but half the country, they were shocked. Well, there's another wave of shocks coming. And it's going to be very, very hard for people. So get prepared now. Get your mind readied, because it's about to happen. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.